Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official NFL week number 9 smart money bets. And if you guys don't know, I'm doing a very similar thing here with college football, just taking games where a lot of the money's on, a lot of the models are on, talking about where the current value is when it comes to betting on the NFL in week number 9. And then I do have a few parlays at the end, kind of safer parlays to discuss as well. But this is just 10 bets overall. So the first one, we've got the Eagles at the Texans. This is the Thursday night game happening tonight. We're going to go with the under 45.5. I gave the grade a C+, but I'm actually probably going to include it or improve the grade to a B. Brandon Cooks apparently out for Houston. 45.5 is not a big number, but of course Houston and their horrible offense is really bogging this down. These Thursday night games normally tend to go under. It's not going to really be an enthusiastic environment. You know, the Texans are basically dead in the water. Davis Mills very clearly is a bridge quarterback. The Eagles are coming in as 14-point favorites. A lot of people thinking, a lot of money on the Eagles covering that 14-point spread. It actually opened at 12.5 and it's been bet up to 14. But the value, the overall play, with the injuries, with the situation, with it being on Thursday night, the environment being very, lackluster, there's going to be no energy in Houston. We're going to go with the under 45.5 on that one. Moving to the Sunday slate, the Chargers at the Falcons. Everyone is in on the over in this game, the over 49.5. You've got a Chargers team who is healthy or getting more healthy on offense coming off the bye. Justin Herbert is due for a 3, touchdown passing day. I would fire him up in any of those daily fantasy leagues. He's going to have a huge game. And then the Falcons, you do have to be a little bit wary of betting the over in any Falcons game. The major issue, they refuse to throw the football, but this past week, maybe getting Drake London, their rookie first-round pick. They did invest a top 10 pick into him. Get him involved more. You're getting Cordero Patterson back. Higher scoring game. I think the Chargers win this game. 49.5. It's been juiced up. I think it opened at 48 or something like that. Either way, the Falcons seem to be involved in these crazy games. Maybe this is another overtime type situation. Maybe this is a 27-24 type situation. In that case, the over is hitting. I'm kind of feeling a 30-27 type vibe from this game with the over clearly hitting. Personally, we have the Commanders plus the 3.5 at home versus the Vikings. I give this a grade of a B. There's great value. That is a great number. 3.5 at home. The Vikings, we're all waiting for them to come down to earth. They're a decent team, but I did read a stat that they've been outgained this year, so that is not a good sign going forward. They only have one loss, and they've been apparently outgained in terms of yardage. So the Commanders plus the 3.5 in this one. They've got enough offensive weapons. Last week it was a little bit fluky. They beat the Colts late, but now they're at home. And this is more of a situation we're going against the Vikings. We're expecting the Vikings. It's almost like the Vikings are due for a loss here. We're trying to read the NFL, how the season's going to play out. Do we really think Kirk Cousins is winning 13 games? Probably not. So they're going to have to start losing. Commanders at home. They're a streaky team. They play a lot of close games. The great thing about 3.5, let's say the Vikings win on a walk-off field goal, they still cover. They'd lose by 3. That's why 3.5 is such a great number, especially for a home team. If a home team's 3.5-point dogs, there's decent value on that. Bills at the Jets, the under 46.5. So the unfortunate thing here, this number has gotten bet down like crazy. The Bills, there's a Bills tax right now in the betting market because they are the best team in the NFL. And this number opened, I think, at like 49 because of Josh Allen and that Bills offense. But there was just so much value on the under in this game. When you've got the Bills going on the road, They played on Sunday night, a little bit of a short week. It's a 1 o'clock game. The Jets cannot throw the ball at all right now with Zach Wilson. I don't know about this one, honestly, the under 46.5, because it was sitting at 47.5. Now it's 46.5. I'm not sure if there's a ton of value on the under, because you would still think the Bills will, at minimum, get into the mid-20s. Can the Jets do something, maybe with Garrett Wilson showing signs? I'm sure you're going to have to throw the ball. Breece Hall is injured. They're probably going to be behind in this game. I don't know if the value is there since it's been bet down so much. We'll have to see what happens. Raiders at Jaguars, the over 48. I do like this. I think Trevor Lawrence is overdue for a good game. It seemed like the narrative at the beginning of the season with Trevor Lawrence was he's breaking out in his sophomore year, and it's gone the opposite way. But I do think at home against the Raiders secondary that can be had, this is finally a good matchup for Trevor Lawrence, maybe 2 or 3 passing touchdowns. And then we know the Raiders coming off their shutout loss. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, they should bounce back reasonably. You're talking about a game that's going to be very competitive. We're expecting you would think good weather in Jacksonville, and we'll go with the over 48. I like that bet. Colts at the Patriots, the under 39.5, so that is not a big number. But when you're talking about inexperienced quarterbacks against Bill Belichick in New England, they do not do well at all. I actually like some of the Colts' young skill position players. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Paris Campbell. But on the road in New England, there's a Patriots team. They got back on track last week, beating the Jets. We're expecting a very low-scoring game, something like 20-17, 21-17. And also, I believe there's another bet. Yeah, so there is value if you want to take it on the Colts plus 5.5. Every one of the analytical models I look at says there's overall value. I think that line has been juiced up a little because it is Bill Belichick at home against an inexperienced quarterback. But 5.5 is decent. I'm expecting this to be a close, low-scoring game. Let's say the Colts do lose 21-17, even like something like 22-17, kind of like the Patriots won last week. You would still cover the plus 5.5. That is an attractive number to bet with an underdog. The Bucs -3 versus the Rams. So this is the big 425 game. There's only one 425 game this week. And this is a situation, it's just not the Rams' year. And this seems to happen in the NFL where it's just so hard to repeat. And the Rams, the Cooper Kupp injury, I know he should be playing. They have absolutely no running game. You can say the same thing about the Buccaneers, but at least Tom Brady has been able to throw the ball. They've been able to generate yardage. They do have Chris Godwin. They do have Mike Evans. They still do have Leonard Fournette. So the Buccaneers are due. They're going to be very motivated. For as bad as they've been, that division is wide open for the taking. A lot of people still think the Buccaneers are going to win that division because it's been so bad. The Bucs -3 at home. The LA Rams simply, they've got a very talented defense, but the offense, 0 running game. The Bucs defense is good. They're going to shut them down as long as they shut Cooper Kupp down. And they're also at home. Number 9, it is the Ravens at the Saints. So this is the Monday night game. The under 48. Personally, I don't love this bet, but the value is on the under 48. Monday night games, I normally, especially like in the Superdome, I normally never like betting the under on that. I could see this game being a 31-24 type game. I don't know the current status of Jameis Winston. I'm surprised he's been out this long, honestly. And then you've got the situation with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry as well. I know they like to use Taysom Hill and stuff, but the value is on the under 48 in that matchup. The Ravens are a team, they like running the ball, whether it's, with the running backs or Lamar Jackson. So they have some time-consuming drives. Really no explosive deep threats there. We know Lamar Jackson's number 1 target is Mark Andrews. And then number 10, we just love this value. The Bears +5 versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins are extremely one-dimensional. They cannot run the ball right now. They're on the road. The Bears don't have a bad defense. I know they almost gave up a 50-burger last week. That was an aberration. They're going to be at home. They're going to play a lot better. Justin Fields, he's a young quarterback that's getting more confidence. Chase Claypool, that's a great addition. I don't know if he's going to play, if he's cut up on the playbook. Either way, This is a Bears team that's gaining momentum. It's a Dolphins team that to me, the Dolphins should be a 3-point favorite in this matchup. I think on the road, 5 is too much. Maybe they're saying the Bears and their defense didn't play well last week, but it's going to be a close game. I could very easily see the Bears upset Miami at home in this situation. And then we do have my 2 parlays that I will explain. So this is kind of just me buying points on all of these games. The over in the Chargers-Falcons, the over 43.5, that's minus 250. The Bears plus 10.5 at home. And then the Cincinnati Bengals minus 1.5. I do think the market kind of overreacted to Cincinnati's Monday night loss to Cleveland. It's tough. They're still without Jamar Chase. I understand that, but I would be very surprised if they lost at home to a Carolina team who, let's be honest, is trying to lose. So that's just kind of a safer 1 plus 161. And then this next one is a little bit more risky, plus 551. It is the Commanders plus the 3.5, and then it's 3 money lines. So Arizona over Seattle. I really have a strong feeling Arizona's going to win this game just based off of how the NFL goes. And if I had to predict, I would think at home Arizona would win this game. The Chiefs are kind of just the toss in minus 625 at home on a Sunday night game facing a horrible offense in Tennessee. I know Tennessee has a good record, but that team is just not good. Ryan Tannehill had the illness. I think he's going to be back. I'm guessing the Chiefs are simply going to shut down Derrick Henry or at least try to shut him down. The Chiefs just have way too many, skill position weapons, an explosive offense compared to Tennessee, especially with them being at home. And then the Tampa Bay Bucks minus the 150. I've got a strong feeling they're going to beat the Rams at home. They certainly need that win. So those are my 2 parlays, and that is the official top 10 best smart money picks here for college football week number 10, week number 9, excuse me. College football week 10, NFL week number 9. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.